Welcome to my views and news. I am back with another video, last video before I go to sleep. Firstly, bad news for Ethiopian government. It seems that Ethiopian government's efforts to get its foreign debt rescheduled are not going to succeed because IMF visit to Ethiopia is likely to be postponed. Secondly, Geta Achoreda in a tweet just a few minutes ago speculated that Ethiopian government forces, Ethiopian federal troops who are entering Eritrea could turn against Eritrea. Is there any likelihood of ENDF turning against Eritrea while in Eritrea? And why are these Ethiopian troops being deployed to Eritrea? Does Eritrea have shortage of manpower? What is the reason? And lastly, viewers, interestingly, drone strikes are intensifying on Tigray, heavy fighting ongoing on all fronts, but Damaki Mekonnen is being quoted by a news source that Ethiopian government is ready to talk to Tigray representatives. What did he say? We'll have a detailed look at Damake's statement, and Getachew also spoke about the reason behind silence of Ethiopian government in response to Tigray's offer of cessation of hostilities. Firstly, viewers, IMF mission, which was due to visit Ethiopia this month, might not visit Ethiopia because Gary Rice is IMF, International Monetary Fund spokesperson. He held a press briefing. He was asked a question about rescheduling of Ethiopian debt. We know that for months Ethiopia has been making efforts for rescheduling of its foreign debt, which it owes to IMF. And Ethiopian government has been in talks with IMF. Ahmed Shide traveled to US and Europe as well, I think, and he held meetings with IMF, World Bank officials. Ethiopian economy is in shambles. Ethiopia is not in a position to pay back IMF and other loans. That is why Ethiopia has been lobbying for getting some debt relief. And before the start of this third phase of Tigray, Ethiopia-Eritrea conflict, news were coming in that Ethiopia could receive this relief. But now things have changed after the start of third phase of this conflict. Gary Rice in his press briefing said that he had no update on any progress made in talks between Ethiopian government and IMF regarding rescheduling of Ethiopian loans. And second, he said that he had no update about the visit of IMF delegation to Ethiopia for talks about debt relief. So it's very much clear, viewers, that IMF is not going to reschedule Ethiopian loans, or you can say that no progress is expected. No IMF delegation will visit Ethiopia in coming days as long as the war is ongoing in northern Ethiopia. Bad news, because we know that Ethiopian economy is in need of foreign assistance. EU is not helping Ethiopian government. US is pulling back a little as well. World Bank issued several loans and grants to Ethiopian government before the start of this third phase of war. But now World Bank could step back a little if there is no progress in peace process. So hard times ahead for Ethiopian government. That is why yesterday I reported that Ethiopian foreign and finance ministries held a virtual meeting with Ethiopian diplomatic missions abroad, and they launched a campaign for collection of funds from diaspora. So a campaign has been launched because Ethiopia is short on funds. Secondly, viewers, Getachew today speculated that large number of Ethiopian troops who are entering Eritrea could turn against Eritrea. That Abiy, PM Abiy, who is deploying Ethiopian troops to Eritrea, could have nefarious designs against Eritrea. Now, we know that ENDF convoys by air, by road have been seen entering Eritrea. And on Shiraro front, from Eritrean soil, ENDF attacked, and EDF is at the back. So, ENDF presence on Eritrean soil is not a secret, and several flights have been tracked by experts. Cargo flights carrying troops or arms which have arrived in Eritrea. The same flights which were landing at Lalibela airport delivering weapons and troops, Ethiopian Airlines flights, they were seen heading towards Eritrea as well. So, it's not a secret. Question is, can ENDF turn against Eritrea? I don't think that ENDF can turn against Eritrea. Then why are ENDF troops being deployed to Eritrea? There are two main reasons. Firstly, Eritrea wants to take this position that it is not part of this war. But from Eritrean soil, military offensives on Tigray are being launched. So, had there been no ENDF on Eritrean soil, it would have been difficult for Eritrea to take a position about offensives launched from Eritrean soil on Tigray. Now, Eritrean official position would be that its forces are not part of this war. Whatever is happening, it is between Tigray forces and Ethiopian National Defense Force. And ENDF is deployed to Tigray Eritrea border. ENDF managed to reach there somehow because it's Ethiopian territory. And ENDF is there on Ethiopian territory. So, Eritrea would diplomatically take this position that it's not part of this war, which Eritrea said in November 2020 as well, but later we saw that Eritrea was part of this war since day one. Secondly, if there is no ENDF on Eritrean soil and Eritrean military launches offensives on Tigray, obviously the military would be vulnerable to losses. Now, when ENDF is on Eritrean soil and military offensives on Tigray are being launched, ENDF is at the front. EDF, Eritrean military, is at the back. So, ENDF is mainly facing the brunt of this military offensives. So, Eritrean forces are suffering much less losses. That is what we have been seeing since the start of this war, that Eritrean military tries to protect itself by being deployed at the back. Mostly ENDF is deployed at the front. And military equipment of Eritrean military is not in use as much as is that of ENDF. These cargo flights are carrying military equipment as well, tanks, artillery pieces. Eritrea would like ENDF military equipment to be deployed for this war. Obviously, it will try to keep its military assets intact. So, these are the main reasons behind deployment of ENDF on Eritrean soil. I don't think that ENDF would turn against Eritrea. Both on the same page. TPLF is a common rival for them. I won't use the word enemy. So both of them, they want to crush TPLF. Lastly, viewers, Damak Mekonnen was quoted today by D.W. Amharic. D.W. Amharic today claimed that Damak Mekonnen held a meeting with EU's representative on African affairs. Name of the representative is Rita Laranjinha. Rita Laranjinha held a meeting with Damak Mekonnen, Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Minister. And in that meeting, Damak Mekonnen said that Ethiopian government was ready to talk to Tigray representatives under the auspices of African Union. And EU should support this peace process. Now, on the one hand, fighting is ongoing. Ethiopian government forces are trying to close in on Tigray from the north, from west as well, Red front. Other fronts too, ENDF is trying to enter Tigray. On the other hand, it says, Ethiopian government says that it is ready to talk to Tigray. So what does it mean? Ethiopian government has not officially taken any position so far in response to Tigray's offer of cessation of hostilities. Official response is still awaited. We could see Ethiopian government make an announcement after a week that it is ready to talk to Tigray. Why not now? Getachew also spoke about Ethiopian government's silence regarding Tigray's offer of ceasefire. He said that either Ethiopian government was surprised that Tigray was ready to talk under the auspices of African Union, and Ethiopian government had no excuse now left. So that is why it was silent. Its earlier excuse was that Tigray regional government was not ready to talk under the auspices of African Union. But now, when there is no excuse, because Tigray has made it clear that it can talk, it is ready to talk with African Union having a leading role. Now, Ethiopian government has no excuse left. So that is why it is silent. Secondly, he said that maybe Ethiopian government was trying to gain some military victories in the battlefield. It wanted to have some leverage at the table. So before starting talks, before responding to Tigray's offer of ceasefire, Ethiopian government wants to have battlefield leverage. That is why it has intensified its operations, its offensives on Tigray. Yes, Ethiopian government has not officially responded to Tigray's call. It means that perhaps it's waiting for the right time. When will this right time come? In days, in weeks, or in months? That remains to be seen. But it means that it is still an option available, which has not been discarded by Ethiopian government so far. We could see some sort of resumption of talks maybe in coming days or weeks. Let's hope, let's pray that somehow once again these two sides sit at the table like they sat in Djibouti, but there was no consensus, no agreement. But if they keep on sitting, if they keep on talking, maybe one day they'll find some solution. Thank you for watching.